Howdy, Possum Patty here, and it's Flip Through Friday. And which journal am I going to pick today? Okay, today's flip is going to be this junk journal that I made a couple years ago. And on this one, I did make the covers just out of some cardboard. Made the spine and the back out of cardboard too. I did some mixed media, and then on the back, I just glued down all these really nice fall leaf. This one's like velvety. These are like silky. And then, of course, I smeared glitter glue all over it. On the spine, more glitter glue and just some random beads where I put the stitches for the two signatures. On the front, a little painting and glitter. And this is an actual photograph that was taken by a friend. And a little cluster in the corner of material paper and just a little saying that says treasure. So this is some fall treasures. For the inside, I have mulberry paper and a Tim Holtz. I didn't put anything on the inside cover, did I? Interesting. Okay, the first page, we have some Trader Joe's cornbread mix. This was cut out of the package, of course, gluten-free. Some material, and it's two pockets here. Here comes a kitty. And the first is a picture of a baby possum for Possum Patty. Uh-oh, trouble's here, and she's stealing the headband. I use the headbands to keep my books closed. And just made a little tag and just a cute picture of my sister when she was little on the back. And some eyelash trim. And the second pocket is material, and in that pocket is a picture of my brother many years ago. A little ribbon, a little stitching, and on the back is a picture of my son, so that's like 40 years ago. And the same thing on the back, just some fall fun. They're raking leaves. And let me get the cat off my lap. Underneath this is a picture of a possum. I think this was taken from an old nature book. There's a little possum up in the tree there. So this is the introductory page with my little possums and some members of the family and some fall fun. And this is like a short page, so I use this to make like a shape page. And on the back, I cut out the back of the box. So that's on both sides, and you can see the sewing from making this little pocket here. And on this side I have some corrugated cardboard, some more of that material, and this is just on like some yellow scrapbook paper. And inside I have my son's two grandmas years ago. She's passed away. That's my mom. And this is in her funeral card in memory of Florence C. Scott when she passed away in 1998. So this is a memory book, so there's going to be just junk and memories. How did I get that in there? Not too easily. And this is a picture of me. I'm old horse Mr. Bojangles. That was taken quite a few years ago. I got a little butterfly there. I got material in the background. I got some of that sparkly green ribbon that I had in my other journal and another little butterfly. And this is a postcard with a cowgirl on it reading a letter. And this was sent to me from my sister from New Mexico, 1996. Cat snow up on my shoulder. On the next page, I have an old almanac page there, October 10th. I've got some of that orange plasticky net that oranges come in, tangerines, oranges, clementines. And this is a page that comes out. It's a picture of my son when he was little, so this is like 40 years old. And he's sitting with a bunch of pumpkins. And this pumpkin that's behind it, I think this is from maybe one of those paint things you get that shows the swatches, all different color paints or something, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, an old almanac and another bit of that orange netting and a little sunflower and some stitching in the corner and a picture of my sister many years ago. Okay, and this is another from one of those folders you get with the paint chips, and it had these windows on it. So what I did was I cut the windows to open, and on the inside I put a picture of my son sitting looking out a window. He's like sitting inside the house but looking out the window, and the window's open. And I just use this paper that looked like wood on both sides, like shutters. And that picture was taken in this house in New Haven. And this house is being renovated. And I think I have, yeah. So it was a project, neighborhood redevelopment project. And this is what it looked like when it was finished. So it kind of went from, sorry about the glare, I'm trying to do this without getting the glare, from there to there. And I do have a picture inside here. And this is the doors of the house at Halloween, decorated. And on this side, the little children, there's my son and Nellie and Matthew, his little buddies there. All those kids are grown up. And on this side, I just have a printout of a vintage photo of kids going to school, because this is kind of like September, back to school. And this is my son on his first day of school in kindergarten. And that's me, oops, sorry. And that's me on my first day of student teaching. So for both of us, it was our first day, and we're going to the same school. This is off a card, and I love this because it had the 4 seasons: summer, fall, spring, and winter. And I put it on a brad so it would spin around. I have a little paper in the background, and I have some Braille paper from a Braille book. And just a little crunkly ribbon over here. And this is what our farm looked like in Pennsylvania when we bought it. It was just one great big open field of millet. And on the back is just a farmer's postcard from Sturbridge Village, Massachusetts. This was a card that was given to me, and I made a pocket out of it. It's really pretty with the horses on it, and I love the flowers across the bottom. And I put this fish was also part of this card. Some shiny paint back there. Inside is I think this was another card or postcard or something. But that looked like my horse Corey, but that's not her. And I put a picture of my brother with his first car. That's an old photo. I mean, you got to remember these photos are like 30, 40, 50 years old. Whoops. Okay, this was a really fun page too. This is from a card that was given to me. These red-bellied woodpeckers here in a little pocket. This is like a teacher supply. It's got little apples on it. I guess you put it in inside a book, like a library card page, or you can just use it for different things in your classroom. And this again came from one of those brochures with the paint chips in it from the paint store. And I did put some sparkly on there. and just a little cardboard tag. And on the back is a picture of my grandma. She's hiding way over here. And she's holding up this beautiful sign. And she used to do signs and calligraphy for people. She was quite the artist, so she hand lettered this whole sign and painted on it. And that was for her church. This was her house in Missouri. Okay, I got some Frida Kahlo on this side. I went to see her exhibit at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, and this is from the brochure. This is the other side of that card with the red-bellied woodpeckers. And this is from the brochure, and I just punched the corners and put it on some cardstock. And this picture, take a good look at it. White blouse and the parrot. And on this side is a picture of my sister with her little parrot and her little white blouse. It reminded me so much of Frida Kahlo. I just had to put it on there. And I have a pocket. This is from an album where you can keep your cards organized. Of course, I never used it because I don't like to organize anything. I just kind of ripped it and distressed it. And inside is a card. Don't think of it as getting older, but I liked it because the guy was on the horse. And on this side is a picture of Lauren Brown. And she wrote a book. Hold on. She wrote this book, Wildflowers and Winter Weeds by Lauren Brown, back when I worked with her at Yale. And she did all these illustrations, all the drawings on the inside. And she did this lettering too. This is all her own hand lettering here. The original title of this was funny, was Weeds in Winter, I think was the original title. Weeds in Winter. And she changed it to Wildflowers and Winter Weeds. That was funny. So this was an article about her. And on this side is just a card that was sent to me in 1976 by my grandma. I decorated it with some fall leaves, like little sequins. And inside, that's a picture of her holding my son when he was little. Of course, she's passed away quite a few years ago. 1982, she passed away. And there's a picture of her with my sister. And this is just another letter from her. Saved her old letters. On this side I have some nice pumpkin ribbon on some burlap. And it is a little pocket. There's two pockets here. This is just some orange material that I stamped with some leaf stamps. And a brown piece of paper, cardstock, that I stamped and decorated the edge. And in the pockets I have a postcard from Assateague Island. And on the back, this is just off a brochure. And this is a really old picture of my brother and his friend Peter Lewis. And they're putting on a play where they're pretending to be cowboys. My gosh, this has to be 60 years old, 65 years old. I bet you this photo is about 65 years old. And this is a postcard from Lancaster, PA. Put a little eyelet, some eyelash trim. And this is my sister on her wedding day. And the caption is, "Got hitched." And she's sitting in a little wagon and the harness is on her husband. Got hitched. I thought that was funny. And on this side, I got some of that gorgeous green sparkly ribbon on some green burlap and a really fun birthday card with glitter on it. It's so cute. Like a fantasy card. I have a little gold bag here. And inside the bag is my two grandnieces. Sweet little babies. And on this side, this was a card, I think it was a birthday card. And the kitty was in a hammock, and I just took some of this funky netting and glued it on. And just put a little bluebird there and beautiful sunflowers. And of course it's a pocket, and this is just some brown quilted material and some zigzag stitching. There's another postcard from Sturbridge Village. And the lady's picking in the garden. And on this side, there's a picture of my son when he's probably, I don't know, 14, 15 months old, picking tomatoes in the garden. A little frog down here in the corner and some eyelash trim. I have another one of those vintage images of fall kids playing. It's like a 1950s maybe image. And just cardstock and material, and corners are punched out. I have some netting. Some pictures of my son. There's my old Volkswagen Beetle. That's fun. Playing in the leaves. And this side, just part of a brochure from Mystic Seaport Museum. I just love the colors in that. And this was another card that was gifted to me. And I have one of those big leaves up here, some pumpkin ribbon, and a photograph of pumpkins that I took. Some sunflower paper, a lovely Native American image. And this is an old postcard. Actually, I think this is a photo. I think I took this photo, or it's a postcard. I don't know, because I covered it up. Here's my dad. Here's my husband, Mr. Possum, and his dad, who passed away from Alzheimer's. So Mr. Possum and Dad has passed from Alzheimer's. And on this page, this is the owl from a coloring book, but I just stained it with, it's not coffee, it's probably watercolor. And I have some feathers here, glued down. There's some feathers on the coloring book page. And then I took the feathers and made a little folder. And in this pocket, kids playing around. These are my two nieces, and these two nieces are grown up and have kids of their own. These are the mamas to my grandnieces. And just two separate ones. Oh, here's that Yogi tea box. It's a tea box I made these tags out of. And this is a picture of one of my sisters. And this goes, in the pocket. And this is my brother when he was little. And, actually, this is her. This is my sister. These two are the same person. That's how old these photos are. And this is an old photo of her. She's grandma now. She's the grandma now. Okay, this was in here somehow. And here's my old farmhouse and my old Corvette that I don't have anymore. That was in Pennsylvania. And this is from one of those albums that you can put pictures in, but it already has decorated around the edge. So you put like one picture on each page. And this page was a lot of fun. This was, I don't know what this was, a magazine page or something. And I cut it out like that so you can see this car behind it. I like the colors. It reminded me of fall. And then because there's a car there, I made a shaker card of my stepdaughter in her new car at the time of this photo. And on the back, this is made from an envelope because I can see the edge here. Just some colorful stamping. And then I stick it in here, so it's like a double car peeking out. This is a napkin down behind here. And my sister gave me this. And I thought it was Awesome. That's a horrible idea. What time do you want me to be there? I thought that was funny. And this is just a photocopy of a painting that my grandma did of a schoolhouse with children playing. And then I took this vintage image of a bus with the school children. And when you pull it out, it has the old school photos of people in my family. So as I pull it out, they come out like that. So these are just like my sister, my niece, my brother, my cousin. Just some old school photos that I found. I'll put that back in after. And this is from a magazine my sister worked at. Yep, her name's right there. And this is a picture of my son with his blankie and his little bear. Mom, from your grateful son. Of course, the card came from, I think he was more of an adult when he gave me the card, but I put his baby picture there. And again, this is a harvest scene from my sister did the graphics at the this newspaper. And I made a tag with some ribbon. A fun little cluster down here. And this is one of my nieces. Beautiful picture of her. Where was this? Was this over here? I guess this was over here too. And this is just a fun page. I have this black cat ribbon with the sparkly green eyes and some netting and some stitching. And this is a black and white photo of my son with his Mum and Shant's shirt on. I don't know if you've ever seen the Mum and Shant's, but it's an awesome production. And this is a pocket page. Oh, the background is actually, here's a coloring book page. And this is just an old letter from one of my sisters. I'll keep that in there. And another vintage fall picture. I just printed that out. Got some netting and some material. And inside is just a fun picture of my two stepdaughters fooling around with lampshades. Got some netting here with some glitter glue on it. And my son, when he was a baby. So what is he here, like 6 months old, right? And not even, see, 6 and 10, 4 months old. Pumpkins are bigger than he was. And here's my little owl page. Again, my son and some owls. Made a little flip here. I think this bird is from a card, but of course I add glitter to everything. Picture of my son and my niece with their pumpkins on the inside. And oh, this is like a notebook, like a plastic notebook folder, you know, for school. But I loved it because it had the owls on it. And this is an old, I think this is a Dollar Tree sticker or something, and a leaf. There's part of that folder, and a little picture of my dad who's passed away, and my son. And inside here I got an owl that's just cut out of a magazine or something. And this, I think it's just another letter in there. Oh, this is something we made when my father passed. 1998. It's where he was born. Look at him as a baby. Look at that. And this is my favorite picture of him right there. Drinking, smoking, and playing the guitar. He was a character. He was on the radio as a weatherman. He was down here fishing. And he brought home a bucket of eels, and we ate them for dinner. Everybody loves this picture here. It's my brother and me, and my mom and my dad, and a boxer. The boxer's down here. So that was something special we made when he passed. Oh, and this is at the Delaware Museum of Art. I just love this statue. Oh, and there's that picture of Dad. Love that picture. And look at this little bee card. Isn't that precious? I love it. Thanks for being my teacher. Love, Sarah. This is from one of my students. And there's a picture of me with one of my classes many, many, many years ago. Those kids are all grown up. And in the pocket, I have another owl. And here's a very old picture of me holding a caracara eagle. Big owl picture back there. Oh, a picture of me and Mr. Possum, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Got a flower and some napkin back there. And, of course, another picture of my son. You're going to get tired of seeing him. Of course, you only have one kid, so what are you going to do, right? Then I have a little folder here. And this was I think this was a card. And I think this is from one of those color charts at the paint store. And inside is just some old fake money. And I love this distinguished yet youthful. I don't know what that's off of. And my brother and my cousin. And they were really little. 1952. Oh my gosh, 1952. Many, 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 many years ago. 70 years ago almost. And I just put a little piece of paper bag there. Another picture of me and my brother when I was little. There's a fun Halloween card somebody gave me, and I cut out the center and I put a picture of me. And this is, let's see if I can remember. This is Calamity Jane's great-great-grand niece, I believe. Calamity Jane, I think that's what that was. Picture of my mom and her sister and her mom. Just old pictures and correspondence. And here's some more of that school photo that I like. And this is a paintbrush. I cut it off the card that these were on. It was like paint and paintbrushes, and I just cut them up, put them on there. Made a pocket out of the school folder. Got some washi tape. And this is a picture of my grandmother that she painted of herself in front of a mirror with herself in the mirror. I think I used this in another album too. And this is a picture of my grandmother's art table and some of the things she used. She worked as a commercial artist. And it's my grandpa sitting down there. Got some more owls. And these are really funny. These are men's cuffs. Like, you know, off the end of a shirt. And I had gone to a junk store with Mr. Possum. He was buying scrap metal, but I was looking around. And the lady who owned it, I guess sometimes she buys out like storage units. And she bought out this whole bin of these cuffs that somebody turned into like pockets. And inside is the memorial card for my grandpa. And a picture of his grave. Passed away in 1974. And this is my friend Monica, who's passed away from cancer. Her dog Keisha digging a hole. Her husband Ira. Her dog Nikki over here. Ira's a musician. And on this side is just a wedding picture for a wedding. And this was invitation to the wedding. Got some more of that coloring book. And inside is a journaling card. Ah, this is me with my students at Worthington Hooker School many, many, many years ago. Picture of my sister and my uncle. And this is the newspaper again that this sister worked at. And I did a belly band with some black lace. Again, using that bag that the tangerines or oranges come in, and a really pretty leaf. And this card, I think my aunt gave this to me, but I put a picture of my niece on the back. And then we have a llama card, and a picture of my other niece with, this was my llama. This was Spooky, because he was born on Halloween. So his name was Spooky. And on this side, we're almost to the end. Store where my sister works, she did their advertisements. And this is a card. This is that sister. This is her when she was little. I know it's hard to see. This is her back in Denver, Colorado. And these little frames came out of that album. And another leaf. And my other sister and her daughter, who's now all grown up and has a daughter of her own. So I think I had that in there. And there's a pocket with just another letter in there. And this is a picture I took. Where did I take this? Nantucket Island. Beautiful daisies. And Mr. Possum with my nephew, who's now 21 and in pre-med. And just a picture I took of some milkweed pods, a little eyelash trim. Bless you if you've hung in here all this time. And some more Trader Joe's pumpkin mix. Oh, cat sneezing. And I think I've showed this before. This was on my mom's 90th birthday from her party. And some Braille paper back here. And this is a pocket made with a copy of a cover of Popular Science magazine. My father was actually an editor of this magazine. And he also worked at Speedy Printers in Florida. And this is him with one of his typesetting machines. And I have no idea what's on the back. Oh, this is from an old newspaper in Donovan, Missouri, 1982. And that is it. There's the back cover and the back. Wow. Walk down memory lane. Well, I just hope this gave you some ideas on how to put together a memory book. And you don't need a lot of fancy papers and things. These are all just cards and postcards and pictures and letters and, I don't know, just a lot of junk here. A lot of junk in here and a lot of good memories incorporated. So thanks for coming along today and happy Friday flip through. Bye-bye now.